So, today we're going to be talking about your Coffee Talk assignment. You are going to be doing 8 of these throughout the semester, roughly, and you'll turn one in essentially every week. Keep an eye on your syllabus, it will tell you when there are particular due dates. So, I want to start off first by talking about objectives, and then I'll move on to the logistics. So, the first objective is to talk about how the theory we're learning in the chapter can be applied to the reality of an interpersonal communication event. This assignment will create that interpersonal communication event, but it is still a real moment in which you will talk to somebody else, and then you'll use the theory from the chapter each week to analyze that interaction. Hopefully, what that does is it brings that theory to life by showing you what it looks like to apply to a real moment in your life. Second, this assignment is a great way to build new interpersonal relationships. This is an online class, so we don't have any class time. This is a great way to spend some face-to-face, real-life time with somebody, even though it will be over Skype for many of us. That said, it will help us build a closer classroom community. You'll get to know your classmates, and in the future, it could be a great networking moment for you all as you sort of graduate and move off into your lives. You might run into each other and know each other, which can be rare in online classes. And then third, this will help facilitate a cohesive classroom environment. Again, I recognize that this is an online class, but it does help us feel more comfortable with each other. And so even when we're interacting via the discussion boards, you have a sense of who you're talking to, what they're like, and understand how your communication might impact them or other people in the classroom. So I think this assignment does a lot of good things for us as individuals as well as for us as a classroom. So to move on to the logistics of the class, the assignment itself. Here's how it will work. Each week, I will assign you a new Coffee Talk partner. I will assign you one every Wednesday, and then you'll turn one in the next Wednesday. So you will be assigned a new Coffee Talk partner, and you will spend a half an hour talking with this person. And I'm going to rotate them, so you should meet someone new every week as best I can. You and your partner must then talk over Skype for half an hour minimum. You can go longer if you want, but you have to at least talk for a half an hour. If you prefer, if you're both on campus, you certainly can meet in person at any point during the week to fulfill your half-hour coffee talk. So if you want, you certainly can meet at Caribou Coffee or Jasmine's if you're on campus. You should try and do some of these over Skype as best you can. Talking over Skype is certainly a different kind of exercise than meeting in person, and I think that can be really useful. So you just need to find a time to meet with your partner either in person or over Skype for half an hour every week. After you spend a half an hour with your partner, you're going to do a brief write-up between 400 and 500 words, analyzing the conversation, and you're going to use the concepts from the books, the theories from the book, to analyze that conversation. Your write-up is going to be broken down into 3 different paragraphs. The first paragraph, about 100 to 150 words, is really just going to say who your partner is, where you met, if you met in person, otherwise just say you met on Skype, talk about for approximately how long you met, and then just cover some of the basic topics of conversation. I will be providing you with some questions. You can go off script. The idea is, though, that you should have a real conversation with this new person each week. I don't want you to every week go over the same 5 topics that you do when you meet a new person, which is where are you from, what's your major, where do you live. You certainly will go over some of those topics, but hopefully with some questions that I provide, you'll go more in depth and you'll have more real conversation, which provides you with some more material to work with for your analysis. So for the first part, just talk about who your partner was, how long you met, the basic topics of conversation. Paragraph 2. You're going to choose 2 concepts from the book and you're going to use those to analyze the conversation. When introducing the concepts you want to use, put them in bold. So essentially choose 2 concepts that you think highlight something interesting that happened in your conversation and use those to analyze it. So highlight them, give a very brief definition or description of them, and then talk about it. So, for example, During my talk with Jessica, I thought she fell into many of the gendered linguistic styles outlined in Chapter 2. She used a lot of third-person pronouns and described her emotions a lot. This section will be about 200 to 300 words. The concepts are going to be from the previous chapter. So for your first coffee talk, you're going to use Chapter 1 to analyze the conversation. For Coffee Talk 2, you'll use Chapter 2, etc. Note, after spring break, the numbering can be a little off, so keep an eye on your syllabus, right? So for Coffee Talk 5, you might use Chapter 6. Just keep an eye again on your syllabus. Remember, you're going to have your coffee talk. I'll assign it Wednesday. You'll turn it in the next Wednesday, but you'll use the reading from that previous week to do the analysis. I hope that's not too confusing. If you have questions, let me know. And then your third paragraph is going to be a conclusion that states what you learned from the conversation. And this is going to be about 150 to 200 words. So for example, after talking with Jessica, I feel like I'm more likely to note how gendered linguistic styles might impact student comments in classrooms. Or, gendered linguistic styles are an interesting way to think about how women talk to each other or men talk to each other versus when men and women talk. I wonder if women feel they need to use more masculine linguistic styles in the workplace to be taken seriously. The idea is in this third paragraph, after you've done your analysis, you do some extrapolation. How might this theory work in an even broader context? So taking it from your coffee talk to other kinds of real life situations. These write-ups again will be due almost every week on Wednesdays on D2L at midnight. They will be worth 10 points each, and you'll have 8 due over the course of the semester. When doing these write-ups, please double space, 12-point font, Times New Roman, 1-inch margins. This is just to standardize it, and it's easier for me. I really do have a Times New Roman preference. It's a little crazy, but please indulge me, put it in Times New Roman. And every week you will post it on D2L. Under the Assignments tab, there will be a folder open. So that is the Coffee Talk assignment. I hope this made sense. I will post this write-up for you to look at. Please double check it. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will assign you your partners, and you have any time before next Wednesday to have your meeting, do your reading, and write up your analysis and submit it. Thanks so much.